Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Today I have got 1d8 driving beliefs that you can use to help you better roleplay and get into the mind of an NPC or a player character. So, let us pray. Belief number 1 is I am constantly being followed and observed by Shapechangers. So this is a character you could play as hyper paranoid, hyper vigilant. You trust almost nobody except those you maybe are with 24/7. For example, your fellow adventurers who you see at all moments. They never really have an opportunity to shape change. When you meet other characters in the world, you could be constantly quizzing them or testing them to see if they are who they claim to be. Maybe you always have a code word that you've exchanged with characters you've decided to trust. So whenever you bump into them in the world, you always need to have them answer that question before you will accept them as who they appear to be. Belief number 2 is rest is a tool of the enemy. Your player character is not content to just sit and take a short or a long rest at every opportunity. No, you have to keep the group moving forward because every moment you are resting is a moment the enemy is going to be taking advantage of your rest. They'll be putting new traps together. They'll be slaying the innocent. They'll be putting together new rituals to summon demons, right? You are almost a worst case scenario type character when it comes to rests. Belief number 3 is magic will be the doom of this world, but it'll be my salvation. So you could be a character who is always fearful and distrustful of other characters using magical items because in your mind, they're going to do something wrong. They'll cast a fireball in the middle of the room while you're all in there, or they'll release some poisonous gas, or they'll raise a zombie horde. Who knows what the unskilled arcane wielder might do? You are the only one who you can truly trust to wield a wand or a staff or an enchanted sword. And I think another fun idea could be maybe you are very distrustful of magical merchants because who knows who they're selling items to in the world, and so you refuse to sell your items to anybody. You're sort of a hoarder of even the most minor magical trinket. Belief number 4 is mom is always right, or at least in the end she is. So you're playing a character who obviously has some mommy issues, but I also think it would be fun to play a character who is always writing notes or sending messages back home to mom to get her advice for things. You're requesting recipes, you're sending your clothes back home for her to mend for you, not because you can't do that yourself, but because you just have this close, loving relationship with your mother, and she wants to take care of you as best as she can while you're out on the road. Belief number 5 is it is better to make something beautiful than to kill something ugly. So you could play a character who leans heavily into the use of artisan tools, but you're a painter or a gemstone worker or a cobbler, not because you want to make money selling your wares when you get to the city, but because you know for all the good you do, killing monsters and evil villains, you could do a lot more good, or at least a little more good, by bringing beauty into the world to replace those things that you've killed. Belief number 6 is the gods are constantly testing us, but often in cryptic ways. Obviously, you're being tested as a hero when you're facing off against a red dragon, but what about when a bird sings? Do you stop and dance? If an item is too expensive for you to afford, do you know that it's probably waiting to be purchased by someone who needs it more than you? And when you roll a nat 1, can you hold on to your faith and conviction that everything's gonna be okay? Belief number 7 is we mustn't forget the simple pleasures in life that make us mortal, because if we do, and we just become these bloodthirsty heroes running from dungeon to dungeon in search of new things to slay, what really separates us from the monsters, right? So does your character get up early each morning to watch the sunrise? Do they stay up late to watch the sunset? When you buy a drink at the tavern, do you also buy one for your companion in the adventuring party and have a conversation with them? Ask them how they're feeling about their most recent delve, or what they're going to do with the gold that they got, or how they feel about the fact that they haven't found their sister who went missing all those months ago. These little moments are what can really bring your character to life and build strong relationships with the other characters. And belief number 8 is paths never cross randomly. When your adventuring party arrives in town and the first person they meet is a beggar, or you're out on the road and you bump into a traveling merchant, your character knows that these are not just chance encounters, but instead the gods have placed these people before you to do something for you, to help you in your quest. How exactly are they going to do that? You don't know that, but it's not up to you. It's up to the fates, it's up to the gods. There is just value in every encounter you have. And as a player, it's also an opportunity for you to really throw yourself into whatever random encounter your DM might place before you, even if it's just a social role-playing encounter. So there you go, 8 driving beliefs to help you better roleplay an NPC or a player character. And speaking of player characters, I've got some open seats in my ongoing D&D campaigns right now. I've got a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday group all of which have at least one open seat in them that I would love for you to fill if you'd like to play D&D with me and some other really enthusiastic players. The Tuesday, Thursday campaigns are some science fantasy, mega dungeon crawl campaigns, and Wednesday is a very high fantasy, pulpy hex crawl campaign. So I've got links to all those down below. It's a great way for you to get to play D&D with me and also help me keep doing this. But if you're not looking to play D&D and you still want to help the church out, you should go check out the Patreon, because this list that I shared today is going to be included in the April zine release on the Patreon, which is a little booklet of random tables all about building random traveling NPCs. So that's it for me, though, for plugging the church. Thank you all for watching. Thank you so much to the patrons of the church. We say these things in their unholy names. Amen.